What's good, everybody? It's man Big Dom coming live at you, another True Players podcast episode after I just watched the Knicks defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves 137 to 114. It's a big episode. There's a lot to talk about during this episode, but let me just quickly touch upon the Knicks, and I'm gonna touch back on them a little bit later in the podcast. This, like I said, Knicks won 137 to 114. Knicks pulled away in the second half with a big defensive effort. The new offense of Mike Brown is getting more fluid as the more games they play with each other, and you see Mitch Robinson is back, and they're going to be load managing. They're going to be load managing Mitch Robinson, so that's something to definitely look into. Check it. They kept the Timberwolves in check. Except, Julius Randle, every time he's playing against a team that he's played for, he's playing hard. He's going to play very hard and playing aggressive. We dropped 32 points on 12 of 21 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Julius Randle. OG, again, leads the Knicks in scoring. For his fourth 20-point game of the season, the season's only 8 games old. He had 25 points in the him. So that's big. Mitch Robinson only played about 16 minutes, but damn, 10 rebounds, 8 points. Just imagine this guy played 34, 40 minutes a game, how he would be doing. That's very big. Anthony Edwards just came back. This is his first game back from the hamstring injury he had early this season. He dropped 15 points and 5 assists. So more on the Knicks a little bit later, because the reason why I'm on this podcast because of yesterday's news. And I wouldn't say, I'll put it to you like this. If the Jets didn't get the offers that they got for Sauce and Quinnen, they'll both be Jets going into week 10. Let's keep it a buck. When Indianapolis is going to offer you 2 first-round picks for Saucegardner, a guy you just signed in the offseason to an extension, you're not going to take that? Excuse me. Excuse me. You're not going to take that? I was going to take it because I don't think my view of Saucegardner, he's a good cornerback. He's not a Revis level cornerback. He's not an Antonio Cromartie level cornerback. He's not an Aaron Glenn type of cornerback. And the reason I say that is because of his lack of interceptions. Yes, he has. He has a lot of pass defenses. He plays guys very well, keeps from throwing the ball, keeps them from catching the ball, but there's not a quarterback in the league that's not scared to throw his way. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but you got to look at it from the standpoint of where the team is right now, the inability of this team to create turnovers. You're paying this guy a lot of money, albeit he's a fourth. He was picked number 4 in the NFL draft a few years back, but this guy only has 3 interceptions in his career. He's been playing for 4 years. Darrelle Revis, a cornerback who played for the New York Jets, a cornerback who no one threw the ball to, had more interceptions in 1 year than Saucegardner had in the past 4 years. Think about that for a second. And I guarantee you, this had Aaron Glenn felt that as a head coach, as a former All-Pro cornerback himself when he was a player with the Jets. Fake spike notwithstanding, which was actually the only play that was actually playing on that play, contrary to other Jet fans who saw it a different way, but it's whatever. Felt that he could move on from Saucegardner because of the lack of the ability to create turnovers. That doesn't mean Saucegardner's a bad cornerback. I'm not saying that. But what the Jets are looking for is players who are, in my opinion, looking for players who are opportunistic, who could create turnovers. And Saucegardner, all intents and purposes, does not create turnovers. So he's being sent to Indianapolis. Maybe playing for a winning team could rejuvenate him, help him play at a higher level. Like I said, we'll see what happens. The Jets got 2 first-round picks, one in 2026 and one in 2027. And they also got a receiver, A.D. Mitchell, at that deal. So they did lose something with their all-pro cornerback. Yes. But they got a receiver to fill in the holes that they need. Garrett Wilson needs somebody to help him on the other side of the football. And the Jets also made a trade. They traded away Michael Carter. Also, they got Mechie from the Eagles. That happened because of Brownlee, the emergence of Brownlee, who they traded for earlier this year. And he's playing a better nickel cornerback than Michael Carter is in the system of the defense that they're running. So he was pretty much expendable. I get it. People were saying, he gave up his $5 million to play for the Eagles. That's nothing. For me, that's nothing. That's nothing for me to be like, oh, shoot, we lost out on a great player. He just was not a fit, plain and simply, for this defensive system that Aaronglenn is running. He's not a fit for the defense that Steve Wilkes is running. And that's okay. It happens. But me as a somebody who wants to coach, I like to implement my system to be universal for every player. And that's the in my opinion, that's what makes you a great coach. Having a system that can be implemented universally to any type of player. Sometimes you got to adjust to the talent that's on your roster as well. But in the way the NFL is being played now, coaches, new regimes like to bring in players who work their system. There's nothing you can say about it, nothing you can argue about. But like I said, we wish Gardner the best. He was a good Jet. He wanted to stay. I have to give him props for that. He wanted to stay with this team and help this team turn it around. But like I said, it was just an opportunity that just could not pass up. They got 2 first-rounders, one for this year, one for next year. Hopefully to fill some holes on both sides of the football. I believe the offensive line is complete. Let's try to re-sign AVT and hopefully get a full year out of him. Hopefully get a full year out of AVT. There's always something with this guy. He seems to get injured and be out for the season at least 3 out of his 4 years of playing football. He's been out for the rest of the year. Let's just hope he gets a full complement of games. Fashanu has corrected himself from the early season woes. This little early season sophomore jinx he had early in the season. He's playing a whole lot better. Membu on the other side, they just got their bookends at the tackle position. They got it locked. And Justin Fields, shut Woody up. He could play. He just showed Woody he could play. But I need more from Justin Fields. I need a guy that's going to be more decisive with the football, throw the football on time. Because the injury to Garrett Wilson, it was Justin Fields' fault because he didn't throw the ball on time. He didn't throw the ball on time, and it wasn't accurate. So let's wish Saucegardner and Michael Carter, good fortune. But the trade that shocked me was the trade of Quinnenwilliams, the captain, the guy who's with it through the McCagnon years, starting off as a 3-4 defensive tackle. This then continued on with Robert Salah in the 4-3 defensive scheme. Had 1 season of 12 sacks. Didn't match that same level of production as far as rushing the passer because he was facing double teams most of the time. 99.9% of the time he was facing double teams. But he's 31 years old. And the Cowboys came at them with a deal, like I said, you couldn't pass up. You couldn't pass up. The Jets were not going anywhere at 1-7 unless they miraculously win like freaking 9 games in a row to make it 10-7, which I doubt that's going to happen. But funnier things have happened. Who's to say the Jets don't go on and win 4 or 5 straight after all these trades and ruin everybody's dream of being top 3, top 4 of picking in the draft? They want people to tank. I mean, in all intents and purposes, it is a tank job, if you ask me. But you got some players on that team that has a lot of pride. But like I said, the Jets also picked up Mazi Smith from the Cowboys, so they get a defensive tackle back. But they gave up an All-Pro, 3-time All-Pro defensive tackle in Quinnenwilliams, and I was shocked by it. I was hurt about this trade because I felt this guy was a Jet through and through. But after listening to reports of how he was unhappy and how Aaronglenn and Darren Moogie handled the Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams situation, angered him, and he did request a trade 3 times. So he was a pro, though. He went out there and played well, played hard, played well for the Jets. But when a guy comes and tells you that he wants to be traded, it's time for you guys, time to pull the trigger and then move on. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong moving on. I mean, it hurts the fan base who like Quinnenwilliams as a player, but he didn't want to be here anymore. He got tired of losing, and he got tired of the situation, how things was handled. Me personally, in my situation, from the fan outside looking in, you know, I understand Aaronglenn's planning, his plans on how of a team he wants to build. I think he's trying to beat Parcells light, which we don't need. We don't need him. We just need Aaronglenn to be Aaronglenn. Some of the things he's going on against the media sounds like Parcells, but only Parcells can get away with it because 1, his pigmentation, 2, his accolades. You haven't won 2 Super Bowls and brought 5 teams to the playoffs. Aaronglenn hasn't coached 2 teams to a Super Bowl. So you got to take that into account. So all the things you try to do with the media, as far as being Parcells light, cut it out. Stop it. I'm saying that as a fan of yours when you play cornerback for the Jets. I'm saying that as a supporter of the team. I just need you to cut that out. We all know Justin Fields is going to start against the Cleveland Browns. We all know that. So let's stop playing that game. So on another note, Ja'Sir Taylor was picked up from the Chargers for a conditional 7th round pick. So you get another cornerback back with the Jets. So the Jets are going to go with Brandon Stevens, who definitely rebounded after his rough start. To be that cornerback on the one side, and you're going to go with Azari Thomas on the other side, the rookie that they drafted. So I like to see how the defense is going to look against the Cleveland Browns. Let's see how it looks. There were some things that was going on. Breece Hall. He said that on a press conference today that he did not request a trade, but he wasn't happy seeing Quinnen and Sauce traded. I believe he came in the same draft as Sauce and Garrett Wilson. I think he came in the 3rd round, I believe. If someone could help me with that. Someone help me out with that. So, yeah. So this is the situation with the New York Jets, and you gotta accept it. Hopefully they play better. A lot of New York Jet fans want them to tank. I don't see there's no quarterback out there that's coming out of this draft for this after the season, 26 season. That gives me excitement. Okay. So we just got to be careful. Like I was listening to was it Stephen A. Smith First Take, and we got Swagoo and Mad Dog Russo, Everyone complains that the Jets always gets these high draft picks, but there's no structure. There's no plan and structure behind of drafting and developing players to become superstars, especially with the quarterback position. They mentioned Sam Darnold, which let me tell you something. I blame the former general manager for that shit. If you guys listen to me in my previous podcast, I blame Joe Douglas for the whole Sam Darnold debacle. And I blame the fans who fell in love with Zach Wilson because he could throw a ball across his body 70 yards at the combine. I blame the fans for that too. Everyone said Zach Wilson's going to be better than Sam Darnold. You see what's going on in Seattle right now? They even got another receiver for Darnold to throw to in Seattle from the Saints. I think his name is Rashid Shaheed, something like that. So Sam Darnold's already played in the Pro Bowl. He was selected to a Pro Bowl. He's about to lead Seattle to about to lead Seattle, his second team, to a playoff, if all things go well. Boy, the Jets fucked that up. Sure did fuck that up. It is because of the fan base. Because of the fan base, because of the media. That's solely you cannot, and you blame it on the general manager Joe Douglas for that shit. Because I was all for getting that offensive lineman in that draft where they drafted Zach Wilson. I wanted the offensive tackle. Penny Sewell, I wanted him as a Jet. Because you already had you already had the young quarterback in Sam Darnold already there. Just give him weapons. The offense right now looks good. You got Mason Taylor, you got Garrett Wilson, you got the tight end, you got the wide receiver. You need a second wide receiver, the third wide receiver to go along with that offense. And you do need obviously you need a franchise quarterback, I don't think Justin Fields is the answer. Justin Fields has shown me he's not the answer. I was hoping he would be the answer, but after what I've seen the first 8 weeks, 9 weeks with him, he missed 2 games, I believe. 2 games and 1 game. And he's either not the guy or the Jets need to find a coach who could coach up quarterbacks. And I don't understand why they didn't call up Steve Mariucci to work with Justin Fields. Not to be a coach, but just to work with him. Pay Steve Mariucci some good money to work with the quarterback. But yeah, how come they didn't pursue Bill O'Brien to be offensive coordinator instead of Tanner? That's something that you got. That's something that for me, if I'm looking at building an organization, if I'm a rookie head coach, I'm trying to get experienced coaches behind my back. I'm not going to go rookie. I'm not going to bring a rookie offense coordinator and a rookie. The only coach that has experience is, I believe, the special teams coach and Steve Wilkes. Because I'm a rookie coach. I need some guidance along the way. I'm not asking the coach team for me. I just need some guidance. Maybe there's some things that experience can see better than I can see. Me being a rookie head coach. It's not showing that you're incompetent. It's just showing that you're trying to learn on the job. You're learning on the job. First year, you're learning on the job. You're not going to be Brian Dable to go to the playoffs in your first year, and to end up like what's going on right now, that he's on the brink of losing his job. He's on the brink of losing. Brian Dable's on the brink of losing his job. It has something to do with his coaching. And most importantly, how he interacts with his staff. Now I'm gonna get to the Giants a little bit later in the podcast. We got some time. I got some time today. Now, I know it's late, but I got some time. So, one shock of the trading deadline, the Jets did not trade Quinnen's brother, Quincy Williams. I thought they were going to trade him too, but he's apparently going to is on the team for the rest of the season. He is a pending free agent. Do the Jets re-sign him? Do the Jets re-sign him? Because if you're going to let him go for nothing, the possibility is there to re-sign him. And so with the thing was with Breece Hall. Do you re-sign him? Because now the Jets, after all these trades, have created a salary cap, free money of $117 million right now. They could go crazy in free agency in the offseason. But I would recommend not to do that. See what you get. See what you can get out of the draft this year and build through there. And if you want to add some pieces here and there, then go for it. But don't use the entire cap for that. You're probably going to need that for a veteran quarterback to be the stopgate. Probably going to need that for another probably who knows, a big time safety that you could probably sign. You're probably going to need that for another linebacker, because trading Quinnenwilliams away does open the Jets up to a possible change in defense with the alignment. I know Quinnenwilliams in his rookie season played in the 3-4 defense, but that was young Quinnenwilliams. Does Aaronglenn and Steve Wilks now start to convert this defense back to a 3-4 defense? That's a possibility that no one has ever said on any of the networks. The sheer defensive alignment. They were not good against the run with Quinnen in there. So you're not going to lose anything. The only thing that may suffer is the ability of Jermainejohnson and Will McDonald to get to the quarterback, because you don't have that inside push to force the quarterback into those guys' rushing lanes. So that's something new something to think about. This Quinnenwilliams deal has, in my opinion, when I first heard of it, I wasn't happy about it. But the first thing that came to my mind is it quite possible this team is going to shift over to a 3-4 defense? Quite possibly. So that's my thoughts on that too. The Jets are playing against the Browns this Sunday. The Jets are favored, but you're dealing against a Cleveland Brown team who has an exceptional defense with my main man Myles Garrett, who's going to bother Justin Fields. It's going to be a big test for both Fashanu and Membo, because we all know Myles Garrett is going to move around that line. We all know that's going to happen. We know that's going to happen. So get you guys set, get you guys ready for that. As we're going to segue now we're going to recap the Giants' loss to the 49ers. It started off great for the Giants. They score first, and then everything fell apart after that. Not having Scatterbo and Neighbors really hurts Jackson Dart, even though he's trying to make plays. This is the franchise quarterback the Giants are getting, and I'm telling you right now, Ole Miss seems to be the factory of franchise quarterbacks. Giants have been lucky with two of them, Eli Manning and now with Jackson Dart. But the thing about the Giants is defense is not – outside of Brian Burns and getting to the quarterback, the defense is not good. They can't stop the run. They have a tough time playing against the pass. And this is why the team is 2-7 right now. They should have won against Denver. I think that Denver loss set them back a couple of games. Because I believe had they won the Denver game, they could have been 4-5 right now. Worst case scenario, 3-6. They probably would have won another game against either. Probably would have won against I doubt against the Eagles, but they probably would have been in a better position to beat the 49ers. I'll put it to you like that. Because the 49ers had to travel cross-country to face the Giants, and they did a hell of a job. Mac Jones starting his fourth game for Brock Purdy, played well, 19-24 for 235 yards, 2 TDs. He was perfect in the beginning, 14 of 14 in the first half. Possibly a quarterback the Jets may look into. Me personally, hold that thought. Like I said, the Jets, the Giants got some pass rushers with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter. I'm surprised Kevon Thibodeau was not traded. I'm surprised the Giants did not make any trades at the trading deadline. I'm surprised about that. I thought they should have done something to fill the hole that Malik Neighbors left, try to get a receiver to go with Jackson Dart, because the most important thing is trying to have Jackson Dart have confidence going into next year. And then the Giants, they make no trades. So I basically, this is for the Giants fans. Do you guys want Brian Daboll to be fired? Or do you believe this is good? This is going to be his final season as the Giants head coach? Listen, he gets fired. Aaronglenn should be on the phone calling him to be his quarterback coach and bring some ideas to the offense for the Jets. So like I said, Giants fans, do you believe? And answer this in the comments. If you feel that Brian Daboll and Joe Shane will be fired, or you just believe Brian Daboll will be fired, answer me in the comments section, and I'll definitely answer it on the next podcast episode. I will answer those questions. But like I said, the Giants couldn't stop the run. McCaffrey ran wild. 28 carries, 106 yards. He also had 5 catches, 7 yards. And that's all I can say about the Giants. The Giants are playing next week. They don't have a bye yet. I think they got a late bye this season. So we're going to segue off the Giants now. We're going to head over quickly in the World Series, which was a great World Series between the Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I was rooting for the Blue Jays to win because I didn't want the LA to win another one. But it was a hell of a series. 2 players stood out for me. Was what's his name? Yamamoto really stood out and represented for the LA Dodgers. Came back. He pitched Game 6. Came back in the extra innings to close out the World Series. That's some tough shit right there. Yeah, he's starting to do these players like this. Make me change my mind against each of these pitches. Makes me change my mind. I'm telling you. I mean, the Blue Jays, played a hell of a series. I think they dropped the ball on certain things. I felt the manager dropped the ball on certain things too. I felt with Trey Savage, you brought him in the Game 7. Don't let him out there for 1 inning. You gotta give him 2 innings. He's your best pitcher. And to the shock of my life, as I see Max Scherzer start Game 7 and went a strong 4 1/3 innings. A strong 4 1/3 innings. Maybe you should have kept him to let him pitch the full 5th inning. Maybe got him 5 innings. And I was shocked the performance of Max Scherzer pitched in that game. I think it was the Ohtani effect. They didn't want him to pitch against Ohtani for a 3rd time. That's what I'm believing. That's what I truly believe. But once again, I congratulate the Dodgers getting a 2nd World Series in a row. Now, for all you Dodgers fans out there, I don't really talk about the Dodgers too much. Excuse me. Do you believe this is the start of a dynasty for the LA Dodgers? Answer that question in the comment section. Now, hit you guys up. I'll answer those questions on the next podcast episode. This is something I would like to do, get some more interaction with you guys, and get your thoughts. And so I can answer them on the podcast. I want to spend one episode just answering all your guys' questions, answering all your guys' responses to my questions. I want to spend one podcast episode to do that. So now, before I go back to the Knicks, let's talk about New York Mets free agency. Briefly, I would love to bring back Matt when he has an opportunity. I'd love to bring back Matt to just fully discuss what our team could do to be in the World Series next season and possibly win the World Series next season. Edwindiaz and petealonso officially opted out of their contracts. Edwindiaz was not sure. He wanted to talk to his wife about it. He spoke to his wife about it, and he officially has opted out and is going into free agency. I don't have his contract situation, so I can't really speak on it right now. But next episode, as we dig deeper, like I said, hopefully I have Matthew from Jacob Sports Show to join me to dig deeper into his contract situation. But as far as petealonso's contract situation right now, what I would do is, I think I mentioned it before, we got to start and finish between the $40 and $45 million per year type of contract. Max, I'm doing is 5 years. Max, I know he wants 7, but max, I'm doing 5 years. And with the understanding that he can't play the field every single game, he has to take some at-bats at DH to preserve him. So this is what I proposed. Initially, I proposed a 4-year, $160 million per year. 4 years, 160. But I spoke to one of my coworkers. He felt I should go 5 years, $200 million. If I was general manager of the New York Knicks, if I was Davidstearns right now, go 5 years, $200 million. You got the $40 million a year, and you got a mutual option for year 6, mutual option for year 7. But I'm not giving them opt-outs. No opt-outs. 5 years guaranteed. 6th and 7th year, mutual option. Well, okay. Year 6, player option. Year 7, team option. Same. I would probably, if he signs a $200 million, I'd probably go last 2 years, 45 each year. Or I can make it incentive base on the monies for the option years. But the base will be $40 million no matter what. Only incentives could raise those option years as far as money goes. What do you guys think about that? You think Scott Boras will let him sign that contract? What's your thoughts? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Once again, comment and I'll answer the next episode. I promise you. So, another thing I want to talk about is these fan-induced rumors how the Mets should go ahead and sign bobichette. Sign bobichette and move him to second base. We already have a shortstop in Francisco Lindor. Ironically, I believe this is year 5 of his contract with the Mets. Or year 5 or year 6. Bobichette is a hell of an offensive player, but his defense is lacking. However, you got players on the Mets that you need to move on now. The first one is McNeil. I think McNeil is not the same. It's not the top player I want on the team anymore. I love his versatility, yes, but the McNeil I needed for this team is the McNeil that won the batting title back in 22. I need that Jeff McNeil. I don't want the power hitting. I don't want the home run hitting Jeff McNeil. I want the Jeff McNeil that hits for average, moves guys move the guys on bases, and just gets hits. That's Jeff McNeil I want back in that. Jeff McNeil I want back in the team. But I think that part of him is gone. So the Mets would have to trade him. Another guy I would look to trade is Brandon Nimmo. I would look to trade him. If I get starting pitching, you need veteran starting pitchers to go with the three young studs. And I think Jonah Tong needs to start in the minor leagues in AAA next season. I think Brandon Sprout and McLean definitely they should stay in the major leagues and pitch. Get some veteran pitching in here. Kodai Senga, got to think about trading him as well, only because of his health. He cannot stay healthy for the life of me. He cannot stay healthy. We need to move on from him. And hopefully we get a rebound season from Sean Manaea. And we also get a rebound from David Peterson. David Peterson started great in the beginning and faltered at the end. We need to find out. We have to get an even season from David Peterson. So that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, I'm going to talk more in depth about the Mets, and hopefully have Matthew to join me. If not, I'll just give you guys a very great episode as far as, what the Mets should do. But let's go back to the Knicks. Knicks are officially 5-3 this season. The offense is really coming. The Mike Brown offense is really coming along. The only problem I have with the Knicks is with Thibodeau, they were able to win on the road. With Mike Brown, they're 0-3. However, they're 5-0 at home at the Garden. They're showing some home court dominance at home. This team is going to have to learn how to win. If you're going to win the championship, if you're going to go to the NBA Finals, you got to be able to win on the road. And hopefully they'll find a way to figure that out on the road. As we see here, this is, I believe, Mitchell Robinson's third game back. They're going to do load management with him. Okay. I'm not big on load management because I feel that once you win the basketball court, you get your rhythm going. You don't want to mess that up. But excuse me. But they lost to the Heat. They lost to the Bucks on the road. They lost to Chicago on the road. But they rebounded, beat Chicago at the Garden last Friday night. But Josh Giddey is going to be a hell of a player, man. The boy got talent. He got talent. So he did back-to-back triple doubles. Did it against the Sixers tonight, actually. The second triple double was tonight against the Sixers. He had one at the Garden against the Knicks. So this kid, you got to look out for that kid. But the Mike Brown offense is all about getting easy shots and shoot more 3-pointers. It's making life easier for Jalen Brunson. He's starting to get used to it. The guy who's getting adjusted to it is Karl Anthony Towns. Listen, everyone's talking about getting Giannis. Let's not get Giannis yet. The team is what it is right now. Let that team grow together. I haven't seen the big game from Mikal Bridges yet, but I felt this offense does fit Bridges tremendously. We haven't had a big game from him yet, but I'm still waiting for that. But OG has really flourished in this offense. 4 out of the 8 games this season, he got 20 points, over 20 points. So let's make sure he stays healthy, and hopefully he continues that same level of play throughout the season. And the Knicks may be onto something. Maybe Mike Brown was the coach that they needed to really expand on the potential of the New York Knicks basketball. So my thoughts is keep the winning going, get better on the road, keep sharing the basketball, and I'm showing Jordan Clarkson slowly getting his flow into this offense as well. As I see, Mike Brown is starting to shorten down his rotation. He was playing 12, 13 guys at a time. Now, in these couple of past 2 games, he's playing more like 8 or 9 guys, and sometimes 10 in a game. You got the news today. Tyler Kolek is going to be going out to the G League once the G League season starts. I wish he could stay up here to really get his experience. But this is a win-now team. And a win-now team doesn't have time to develop their players, unfortunately. They don't have time to definitely develop their players. So I'm going to end this podcast right now, guys. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Also, view the podcast. Answer the question I'm asking so I can definitely put in the comments, and I will address it on the next podcast. I definitely will. So you can catch on the podcast on YouTube at True Players Podcast. And you can definitely catch it on Spotify at True Players Podcast for the audio version of the podcast. Once again, it's always blessed to have you guys on the show. Help me get to 100 subscribers. by the end of the year. And so I keep giving you the great content that I'm giving you. And the content can be better. I need more subscribers to to ensure that it gets better. All right. So it's your man Big Dom signing off for this True Players Podcast episode. Peace and good.